Hi, I'm Peppy. On this tape are lots of examples of the great stuff at the ABC shops for kids to listen to. Let's start with a nursery rhyme we all know.
Of sixpence, a pocket full of rye, 4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie. When the pie was opened, the birds began to sing. Now wasn't that a dainty dish to set before the king?
The king was in his counting house, counting out his money. The queen was in the parlour, eating bread and honey. The maid was in the garden, hanging out the clothes, when down came a blackbird and pecked off her nose.
Kym Lardner is a very funny storyteller. He tells some funny stories about when he was 3. Now this one is called McMuscles.
This story is about me when I was only 3. I know it's hard to believe, but when I was only 3, I was about this big.
Yeah, that's me.
But I couldn't help it.
Yeah, I can't help it.
It's because I was only 3.
Yeah, because I'm only 3.
And when I was 3, I thought I was the boss of everything.
Yeah, because I am the boss.
I stood up on the table and I said,
yeah, I'm the boss. I'm the boss of the house.
and then my dad would come along, hey, what are you doing up there?
Yeah, because I'm the boss of the house.
You're too small to be the boss.
Yeah, that's why I'm on the table.
You get down from there. Now, come on, we better go to kindy.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Maybe you can be the boss of the...
Oh, yeah.
So off we went to the kindergarten. Oh, as soon as I got there, I burst in the front door. My teacher said, you can't be the boss. You're to be the boss.
Yeah, well, you're too big.
I'm supposed to be big. I'm naughty.
Yeah, well... yeah, but I'm the boss.
You can go outside and be the boss of the...
Oh, yeah.
So I went outside. I stood in the middle of the sandpit.
Yeah, I am the boss of the...
I wouldn't let anyone in that sandpit.
Yeah, how you get out of here? How you get out of here?
If a little beetle was trying to climb into the sandpit...
How you get out of here?
If some more's trying to get into the sandpit...
How you get out of here? Because I'm the boss of the sandpit.
Boss of the sandpit all morning until the new boy arrived.
Uh-oh.
He was much bigger than...
Uh-oh. Who are you?
His name was Arnold, and he had big muscles. And he just looked at me, and he said...
I've got muscles. Uh-oh, where am I? I think I lost them.
And Arnold, he didn't want to play, he just buried me. Straight away, he buried and bit.
Oh, yeah.
I climbed out of the sandpit.
Oh, yeah, I don't like that.
It's covered inside.
Yeah.
To eat some fruit.
Yeah, 'cause I like fruit. I'm the boss of the fruit.
I love that story. It gets so funny near the end. Now I wonder if you know this one.
Bananas in pajamas are coming down the stairs. Bananas in pajamas are coming down in pairs. Bananas in pajamas are chasing teddy bears. 'Cause on Tuesday's day I'll try to catch them unaware.
The bananas in pajamas live in Cuddles Avenue. Their house is the red one at the end of the street, next to the beach. Every morning when they get up, the bananas come down the stairs and open their back door.
After you, B2.
Thank you, B1. Oh, it's a very nice day, B1.
It's a very, very nice day, B2.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking, B1?
I think I am, B2. It's beach time!
The bananas go down to the beach every day to clean up any litter and to pick up any driftwood that may have been washed up.
Look at this big piece of driftwood, B2.
We can't leave this lying here, B1.
Absolutely not, B2. I'll pick it up.
Someone's dropped an ice cream wrapper, B1.
Here, B2.
Tut, tut, tut.
Tut, 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 tut.
And what about that, B1?
What about what, B2?
This bottle, B1. It could get broken.
It's lucky we're here to clean things up and keep the beach safe, B2.
You're so right, B1. Wait, B1.
And these are the teddies, Morgan, Lulu and Amy. The teddies live next door to the bananas and they look after the park. Lulu likes to get things done.
Voila! Ta-da!
She also loves to dance. Morgan likes to do things carefully and he likes to take plenty of time to look at all the lovely butterflies in the park.
Out of my way, everyone, 'cause here I come!
But Amy's rushing sometimes gets her into trouble, especially if Morgan gets in the way of her wheelbarrow.
Oh, I'm sorry, Morgan. Oh.
Morgan doesn't mind, so long as Amy helps him clear up the mess.
Andy Jones collects some red-hot jokes from school kids. Here's a couple.
Hey, psst, psst, Ellen, Jessica, Grace, Kirsten, I've got a joke for you. Listen to this. What's red, round and juicy, and has toes but no feet? Tomatoes!
Oh, Andy.
Andy, you forgot to introduce me.
Oh, sorry, Funky. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen and monkeys, I would like to introduce the Banana King himself, Funky Monkey!
Thank you very much, Andy. Thank you. Andy, how do monkeys make a lot of money?
I don't know, Funky. How?
Monkey business, Andy. Monkey business.
Some of my favourite stories are from Winnie the Pooh. I like the story about Eeyore's birthday.
But nobody minds. Nobody cares. Pathetic, that's what it is.
There was a crackling noise in the bracken behind him, and out came Pooh. "Good morning, Eeyore," said Pooh.
Good morning, Pooh Bear,
said Eeyore gloomily.
If it is a good morning,
he said.
Which I doubt, said he.
Why, what's the matter? You seem so sad, Eeyore.
Sad? Why should I be sad? It's my birthday. The happiest day of the year.
Your birthday? Said Pooh in great surprise. Oh, well, many happy returns of the day, Eeyore.
It's bad enough. What with no presents and no cake and no candles and no proper notice taken of me at all, but...
This was too much for Pooh. Stay there, he called to Eeyore, as he turned and hurried back home as quick as he could, for he felt that he must get poor Eeyore a present of some sort at once, and he could always think of a proper one afterwards. Outside his house he found Piglet, jumping up and down trying to reach the knocker. "Hello, Piglet," he said. "Hello, Pooh. I was trying to reach the knocker," said Piglet. "I just came round." "Let me do it for you," said Pooh kindly. So he reached up and knocked at the door. "I've just seen Eeyore," he began. "And poor Eeyore's in a very sad condition because it's his birthday, and nobody's taken any notice of it, and he's very gloomy. You know what Eeyore is. And there he was, and what a long time whoever lives here is answering this door." And he knocked again. But Pooh, said Piglet, it's your own house. "Oh," said Pooh, "so it is," he said. Well, let's go in. So in they went. The first thing Pooh did was to go to the cupboard to see if he had quite a small jar of honey left, and he had, so he took it down. "I'm giving this to Eeyore," he explained, "as a present. What are you going to give?"
"Couldn't I give it too?" said Piglet. "From both of us?"
"No," said Pooh, "that would not be a good plan."
"All right then, I'll give him a balloon. I've got one left from our party. I'll go and get it now, shall I?"
"That, Piglet, is a very good idea. It's just what Eeyore wants to cheer him up. Nobody can be uncheered with a balloon." So off Piglet trotted, and in the other direction went Pooh with his jar of honey. He hadn't gone more than halfway when a sort of funny feeling began to creep all over him. "Dear, dear," said Pooh, "I didn't know it was as late as that." So he sat down and took the top off his jar of honey. "Lucky I brought this with me," he thought. "Many a bear going out on a warm day like this would never have thought of bringing a little something with him."
Poor old Eeyore, because when Pooh got back with the jar of honey, there was none left in it. Do you know why? Because Pooh likes honey and he ate it all. Another animal I love is Miffy, the little white rabbit.
Miffy, Miffy, we love you. You always know just what to do. 2 long ears and nose to nose and just my size. Miffy, Miffy, oh so true, we do love you.
Miffy. Mr. and Mrs. Bunny lived in a white house, which had red shutters and a garden. Mr. Bunny loved gardening. He weeded and dug, sowed and watered, and watched the flowers grow. Mrs. Bunny loved cooking. She made lovely things to eat. Every day she went shopping, her basket on her arm. She bought peas in a pod, lettuces and cauliflowers. Sometimes, as a special treat, she bought a juicy pear. Mr. and Mrs. Bunny were very happy, but they wished they had a baby. "It would be lovely if there were 3 of us," said Mrs. Bunny. One night, Mr. and Mrs. Bunny heard a noise. Tap, tap, tap. They looked outside and saw an angel smiling at them. "You shall have your wish," said the angel. "A baby will be yours." She beat her wings and flew away to her home among the stars. Mr. and Mrs. Bunny were filled with joy, and before long the baby came. She had long ears and white fur. Her name was Miffy. I love Miffy. This is a funny story about a princess who slept on a pea.
There was once a prince, and he wanted a princess, but she had to be a real princess. He travelled through the world to find one, but always something seemed to be wrong. Though many he met claimed to be real princesses, he could never be sure that this was true. At last, He returned home and he was very sad because he wanted a real princess so badly. One evening a terrible storm came up. Lightning flashed in the sky and rain tore at the castle walls. It was a dark and fearful night. Then in the midst of the storm, a knock came at the city gates. The old king himself went to open them. A princess stood outside, but the storm had left her in a terrible state. Water streamed from her hair and her clothes. It ran in at the toes of her shoes and out at the heels. But still, she said she was a real princess. Well, we shall soon discover if this is true, thought the old queen, but she said nothing. She went into the bedroom, took all the bedclothes off and laid a pea on the bottom boards of the bed. Then she took 20 mattresses and piled them on top of the pea. Then she put 20 feather beds on top of the mattresses. This is where the princess was to spend the night. In the morning, the queen, the king and the prince came into the room and asked the princess how she had slept. "Oh, it was dreadful," said the princess. "I hardly closed my eyes the whole night. I don't know what it could have been, but I was lying on something so hard that my whole body is black and blue." Then they saw that she must be a real princess, for she had felt the pea through 20 mattresses and 20 feather beds. Nobody but a real princess would have such delicate skin. So the prince took her for a wife, because now he knew he had found a real princess. And as for the pea, that was put into a museum where it still may be seen if nobody has taken it.
You can shut your eyes now, and then you'll see all the magic colours of the rainbow.
A beautiful rainbow has touched down from the sky just beside you. Colours are shimmering in the light. Can you see it? Imagine those soft, glowing colours. Step into the rainbow. Feel the colours floating around you. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and violet. All the colours of the rainbow. It's so peaceful and you feel absolutely safe. Now move into the glowing light at the heart of the rainbow, which is golden and white. Feel yourself filling up with this magic light. It will protect you.
The next one is all about pigs. Lots of pigs.
Late one night as I sat reading, I thought I heard the sound of feeding. Through the kitchen door I crept, barely watching where I stepped. A crash, a bang, a shout, a yell. I slipped on something, then I fell. I landed on a pile of pigs. Some eating dates, some eating figs. In the cupboards on the floor, pigs aplenty, pigs galore. Black pigs, white pigs, brown and pink pigs, making oatmeal in the sink pigs. Pigs in tutus, pigs in kilts, pigs on skateboards, pigs on stilts. Pigs from England, pigs from France, pigs in just their underpants. The king of pigs, the piggy queen, the biggest pigs I've ever seen. Pigs arrive by boat, by plane, a bus pulls up, and then a train. A band strikes up, a piggy sings. Then at 10, the doorbell rings. Someone yells, "The pizza's here!" and all the pigs begin to cheer. Flying pizzas fill the air. One goes splat against my chair. The piggies eat their fill. I get nothing, just the bill. "I've had enough," I scream and shout. "Get out, you pigs! You pigs, get out!"
"Oh, please let us stay,"
the piggies cry.
"Don't make us go. Don't say goodbye."
"You can stay," I tell them all, "but sweep the floor and scrub the wall." I give them brooms, a pail, a mop. "Now sweep and scrub till I say stop." The piggies work, and when they're done, upstairs they stagger one by one. They brush their teeth and comb their tails, then wash their snouts and clean their nails. The pigs and I climb into bed. I plump the pillows, plop my head. I close my eyes and try to sleep. Before too long I'm dreaming deep of pigs and pigs and pigs some more. Of pigs aplenty, pigs galore.
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again.
Incy Wincy Spider climbed up the water spout. Down came the raindrops and washed poor Incy out. Out came the sunshine and dried up all the rain. And Incy Wincy Spider climbed up the spout again. Incy Wincy Spider climbed up the water spout. Down came the raindrops and washed poor Incy out. Out came the sunshine and dried up all the rain. And Incy Wincy Spider climbed up the spout again.
Open wide, come inside, it's play school. This is a play school story all about socks.
Have you ever lost a sock? This story is about a snock that steals socks. There aren't really any snocks, but socks do go missing sometimes. The story is called Snock the Sock Thief. Georgia had lots of pairs of socks. Socks with stripes and socks with spots. But her very favourite socks were her lizard socks that came all the way up to her knees. Georgia took extra care of her lizard socks. When Georgia's dad put the dirty clothes in the washing machine, Georgia washed her lizard socks in a small basin. When Georgia's dad hung the washing up to dry in the garden, Georgia pegged her lizard socks up on a special line by her bedroom window. One night, when Georgia went to bed, she left her lizard socks hanging in the window to dry. While she was sleeping, the wind began to blow very hard. It rattled the windows and snapped branches off the trees. It blew most of the night. When Georgia woke in the morning, one of her lizard socks had gone. She searched the house and she searched the garden, but she couldn't find her missing sock anywhere. Grandma, have you seen my lizard sock?
I think a snock has been.
What's a snock? Asked Georgia. Grandma smiled.
Snocks are creatures that love socks. Any socks, old or new. They use them for everything. They put them on the legs of their tables and chairs. They store their carrots and potatoes in socks. They cover their teapots and their boiled eggs with socks. Snocks know they shouldn't take socks. That's why they only take them one at a time. They hope we won't notice.
Georgia sat in her room staring out of the window. She watched Dad and Grandma in the garden clearing up the fallen leaves and branches. Suddenly, Georgia had an idea. What if she left some other socks for the Snock? Maybe the Snock would bring back her favourite lizard sock. She found a pair of socks that were too small for her, and a pair of pink socks she'd never liked anyway, and a pair of stripy socks that had holes in the toes. She put them on top of her chest of drawers and wrote a note. Dear Snock, please may I have my lizard sock back? You can have all of these instead. Love, Georgia.
To listen to some more stories, turn over the tape now.
This is a story about Snugglepot and Cuddlepie. They were two little gum nuts.
When Cuddlepie had only been out of the bud for a few minutes, a great wind arose and lifted him out of his mother's arms and carried him far across the tops of many trees and left him hanging precariously in a spider's web. Luckily, he was rescued by a kind nut who carried him home to live with his own little gum nut baby called Snugglepot. Snugglepot and Cuddlepie lived side by side, and they grew fat and strong. One day, a wise old kookaburra came to the neighborhood, and all the blossoms and nuts crowded round to hear her speak.
I am old. I have traveled. I have seen humans.
What are humans, Kookaburra?
Humans are strong as the wind, Snugglepot, swift as the river, and fierce as the sun. They can scratch one stick upon another and make a bushfire. They love fire. They whistle like the birds. They're as cruel as a snake, and they have many skins which they take off. When all the skins are off, the human looks like a pale frog.
They sound scary, these humans.
They are scary, Snugglepot. They're as bad.
I'd like to see a human, Cuddlepie.
So would I, but only from a distance.
One very hot night, when the cicadas were singing loudly, Cuddlepie and Snugglepot crept out of bed and out of the house.
Where are we going?
To see the humans.
But only in the distance, please, Snugglepot.
Oh, yes, only in the distance. But we'll have to walk a very long way to find them. When it gets light, we'll pretend to be birds, so that no one will know us.
But we can't fly.
It doesn't matter. We'll dress ourselves in feathers and we'll look like birds. No one will know us.
So Snugglepot and Cuddlepie started out on their journey.
I bet Snugglepot and Cuddlepie went walking one day and they found some koalas. Now this one is a sweet story about a koala called Koala Lou.
Koala Lou. There was once a baby koala, so soft and round that all who saw her loved her.
Her name was Koala Lou. The eel loved her. The platypus loved her. And even tough little Koala Claus next door loved her. But it was her mother who loved her most of all. 100 times a day she'd laugh and shake her head and say, Koala Lou, I do love you. Whenever she stretched in the early morning sun, or climbed a gum tree, or bravely went down the track all by herself, her mother would smile and say, Koala Lou, I do love you. Years passed and other koalas were born, brothers and sisters for Koala Lou. Soon her mother was so busy she didn't have time to tell Koala Lou that she loved her. Although, of course, she did. Every night, as she curled up under the stars, Koala Lou thought about the times when her mother had looked at her and said, Koala Lou, I do love you. And she longed for her to say it again. One night, Koala Lou had a splendid idea. Preparations had begun for the Bush Olympics. She would enter the Olympics. She'd compete in the gum tree climbing event, and she would win. And then her mother would fling her arms around her neck and say again, Koala Lou, I do love you. Koala Lou began her training right away. She jogged and puffed, and lifted weights and panted. She hung for a branch with one claw at a time till she ached. She did push-ups till her stomach hurt. And last of all, she climbed the tallest tree that she could find, over and over and over again.
Poor Koala Lou, she practiced so hard for the Olympics, but she didn't win. Another funny animal who practiced hard at eating cake was the hippopotamus who sat on your roof.
Guess what? There's a hippopotamus on the hospital roof eating cake.
What's the matter? Come here quick. Oh dear. Call the doctor. Ring, ring. I feel sick. Have no fear, says Dr. Jill. We'll send you to hospital. Hospital. Yeah, yeah. Hospital. Yeah, yeah. We'll send you. Yeah, yeah. To hospital. Come on in, says Sister Kate. We just might have to operate. Have no fear, says Dr. Jill.
middle of the night, my tummy started to hurt. Mummy called an ambulance. I didn't want to go to hospital. My big sister said, "My Hippo knows all about hospitals. He can go with you." There's a hippopotamus on our roof eating cake, and he's going to hospital too. The ambulance is very quick. My stretcher has a tummy belt. Click, click, click. Mummy sits beside me and holds my hand. My hippo sits on the roof. There's a hippopotamus on the ambulance roof directing traffic. Go. Stop.
Here's 2 poems from A.A. Milne about 3 little foxes and 4 friends.
Once upon a time, there were 3 little foxes who didn't wear stockings and they didn't wear sockses, but they all had handkerchiefs to blow their noses, and they kept their handkerchiefs in cardboard boxes. They lived in the forest in 3 little houses, and they didn't wear coats and they didn't wear trousers. They ran through the woods on their little bare tootsies, and they played touch last with a family of mouses. They didn't go shopping in the high street shopses, but caught what they wanted in the woods and copses. They all went fishing, and they caught 3 wormses. They went out hunting, and they caught 3 wopses. They went to a fair, and they all won prizes, 3 plum puddingses and 3 mince pieses. They rode on elephants and swang on swingses, and hit 3 coconuts at coconut shies. That's all that I know of the 3 little foxes who kept their handkerchiefs in cardboard boxes. They lived in the forest in 3 little houses, but they didn't wear coats, and they didn't wear trousers, and they didn't wear stockings, and they didn't wear sockses.
The 4 friends. Ernest was an elephant, a great big fellow. Leonard was a lion with a 6-foot tail. George was a goat, and his beard was yellow. And James was a very small snail. Leonard had a stall, and a great big strong one. Ernest had a manger, and its walls were thick. George found a pen, but I think it was the wrong one. And James sat down on a brick. Ernest started trumpeting and cracked his manger, and started roaring and shivered his stall. James gave the huffle of a snail in danger, and nobody heard him at all. Ernest started trumpeting and raised such a rumpus. Leonard started roaring and trying to kick. James went a journey with the goat's new compass, and he reached the end of his brick. Ernest was an elephant and very well intentioned. Leonard was a lion with a brave new tail. George was a goat, as I think I have mentioned, but James was only a snail.
When I go to a farm, I like riding on the ponies. What do you like doing?
When I was little, we lived on a farm overlooking the sea. Through summer, autumn, winter and spring, we worked on the land together. Mum, Dad, Charlie, Kate, Jake and me. We rode our horses every day and loved them like friends. Race you down the dam. Come on, Inky, let's go. The year my old pony died, Charlie let me ride his horse while he used a motorbike. Tricky was all right, but I really missed Inky. In summer, we checked the water troughs to make sure the thirsty cattle had enough to drink. Sometimes we drove the old jinker and stopped for a swim along the way. We shifted mobs of cattle to better pasture and sorted out some that were ready to sell. On market days, huge trucks backed up to the dusty stockyards. Dogs barked, bullocks bellowed, whips cracked as we drove the cattle up the ramp. Oi, oi, get up there! One moonlit night, a truck arrived with some new cows. I went up to the yards with my father to unload them. Something spooked the cattle, and in a flash they were racing down the road. I chased them on Tricky, riding bareback in my pyjamas, and finally brought them home. I felt like a real hero. Late in summer, bushfires sometimes broke out in the hills. The smoke cast an eerie yellow light over our farm. We kept a water tank on the truck in case one of our paddocks caught fire. Blackberries were ripe for the picking then, and the apples in the orchard were crunchy and delicious. The local show was always a big day for us. It took weeks to get ready. We washed the stud bulls and cows and taught them how to parade. We brushed our ponies until they shone and plaited their manes and tails. Dad taught Tricky to jump. Jake practiced his tricks on Bella and trained Sadie for the dog high jump.
Pussycat, pussycat, where have you been?
I've to London to look at the Queen.
Pussycat, pussycat, what did you there?
I frightened a little mouse under her chair. Meow, meow, meow.
Pussycat, pussycat, where have you been?
I've been up to London to look at the Queen.
Pussycat, pussycat, what did you there?
I frightened a little mouse under her chair. Meow, meow, meow.
Meow! One of my favourite stories always was the one about a little possum called Hush. This is called Possum Magic.
This is the story of Possum Magic. Once upon a time, but not very long ago, deep in the Australian bush, lived two possums. Their names were Hush and Grandma Poss. Grandma Poss made bush magic. She made wombats blue and kookaburras pink. She made dingoes smile and emus shrink. But the best magic of all was the magic that made Hush invisible. What adventures Hush had! Because she couldn't be seen, she could be squashed by koalas. Because she couldn't be seen, she could slide down kangaroos. Because she couldn't be seen, she was safe from snakes. Which is why Grandma Poss had made her invisible in the first place. But one day, quite unexpectedly, Hush said, "Grandma, I want to know what I look like. Can you make me visible again?" "Of course I can," said Grandma Poss, and she began to look through her magic books. She looked into this book, and she looked into that. There was magic for thin and magic for fat, magic for tall and magic for small. But the magic she was looking for wasn't there at all. Grandma Poss looked miserable. "Don't worry, Grandma," said Hush. "I don't mind." But in her heart of hearts, she did. All night long, Grandma Poss thought and thought. The next morning, just before breakfast, she shouted, "It's something to do with food, people food, not possum food. But I can't remember what. We'll just have to try and find it." So later that day, they left the bush where they'd always been to find what it was that would make a scene. They're at Anzac Biscuits in Adelaide. Mornay and Minty's in Melbourne. Steak and salad in Sydney. And pumpkin scones in Brisbane. Hush remained invisible. "Don't lose heart," said Grandma Poss. "Let's see what we can find in Darwin."
But Hush did become visible again, didn't he? Because he found the right food to eat. All these tapes are in the ABC shops, and there's lots more. Do you like the Teletubbies? I think they're funny. They're going to say goodbye to us now, and I'm going to say goodbye too. Bye.
Time for Tubby bye-bye. Time for Tubby bye-bye. Time for Tubby bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Tinky Winky.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Dipsy.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Lala.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Po.
Bye-bye.
Boo!
Boo! Woo!
No. Bye-bye, Tinky Winky.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Bye, Dipsy.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Lala.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Po.
The sun is setting in the sky. Teletubbies, say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.